What it do, what it do, what it do. It's your boy Big Val Opinion back with another live video. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that share button. And most importantly, make sure you sub to the channel. Turn on that post notification bell so that you be notified each and every time that your boy Big Val is going live, man. With that being said, let's get into this intro. Welcome to Big Val Opinion. Moderators, with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. This channel is a negativity-free channel, drama-free channel, and we are here to push the message out. We will not be distracted. So with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. Welcome to Big Val Opinion platform.
And I just really want people to know, I appreciate anybody that's helping me. I appreciate anybody that's helping me. A lot of people have been there for me. I just don't want people going back and forth, being mad at each other because one person did this for me and another person did that for me. That's what the devil wants. He wants to cause confusion. That's what these people want. They want to cause confusion. And confusion ain't going to do nothing but keep me in here. But the real thing here, lifetime, as far as quick on lifetime, as far as lifetime is concerned, there are real people, real women out here really being abused, really missing. They're really missing. They're really chained up in basements. I've been in here 4 years. I haven't seen one person that was ever chained up in a basement come forward for anything. But I tell you one thing, before Lifetime came out, I was minding my business. I was in the studio. I was working with celebrities. I had tours. But when Lifetime came out, all of that went away. Meaning, before Lifetime came out, I had no charges pending against me. Nobody had went to a radio station or had went to, a police station. It took a year to put together Lifetime. If all of the things they said I did on Lifetime were true, it only take a minute to go to a police station. But when there's a crime committed, you don't go make a movie on it. You go to the police station. Nobody had done that.
Yo, what it do? It's your boy Big Val Opinion, and I'm back with another live video. And tonight, live is going to be epic. It's going to be dope. So if y'all hadn't already hit that like button, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subbed to the channel, man, make sure you sub to the channel. Let's get this channel up to 2K subscribers, man. I got a little intermission I'm going to play before we get this thing started, but we finna have a good time tonight. And y'all see the title, so guess what? It's up. And when it's up, it's stuck, just like that. All right. What up, Unc? What's going on, man?
Before we get any started, I need you to understand something, nephew. Big vibe. I need you to really understand how much I love jazz. I mean, it's a there's no adjective that I can use at this property time that's fitting. I don't think the human vocabulary is adequate enough. How much in this I feel jazz. You know what I mean? The heart of the artist. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Man, nephew, gospel Christian music is number one, and jazz is number two. It's a no brainer, and I can literally, and I'm not exaggerating, I can literally listen to jazz 24/7 and never get tired,
Man,
ever,
that just
ever.
that. It's just
That's my
soothing.
breath, like poetry was to Pac. It was his breath. It was that therapeutic place that he went from in to deal with everything that a person of his caliber and his background and all the stuff he had to endure, stuff that the media never talked about, even the family couldn't explain because they were inside of his psyche. You know what I mean? You follow what I'm saying? Poetry was that air, and
You
that's what
know,
jazz is for me.
I'm from the jazz capital, man.
You say what now?
I say, I'm from the jazz capital.
I didn't even connect the two. I didn't even connect the two like that. What up, Prophet? What's good? What you think about what I just said?
Hey man, you accurate on point, man. I'm telling you, it's you know,
That's grown
that's
folks
a
stuff.
lot of
That's grown folks stuff.
oh yeah, certain things people wouldn't even know about, man. If they didn't really pay attention. It's all about paying attention. Now, check this out. It's funny to me how the media is all over them trying to get this man money.
Hmm.
How the hell they missed them text messages?
Speak on it.
We
Speak on
finna
it
get
now.
down. What's up, Child? What's up, Money? What's
Yeah,
up,
everybody in the chat. Blessings to every single person that's represented in the chat.
Stacey?
Blessings. Hope y'all having a marvelous day.
Absolutely.
Hey, Howard. What's up, Patrick? Man, what's up? What's up, T.S. Blunt? Oh yeah, man. We finna take it down through there because I got a lot of issues with a lot of shit. Really don't even know how to start. I don't even know where
Well,
to start.
we just started. Just let's build on what we at.
Man. But I got y'all see the headline. Mike Tyson, Tony Yayo speak on R. Kelly. Also, Peter Calhoun Jr., 57, is charged with sexual battery. Y'all see the title, so that means we got some to talk about. We got some to talk about.
Well, you know what? That's I've been waiting to hear somebody like Mike Tyson speak on that shit. Been waiting.
I'm disappointed though.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed, man. And Kels is resting right now. Taking his vacation, chilling with his feet up. You know what I'm saying? Watching TV, working out, shooting hoops, whatever. He's still finding missing people though. He's still solving missing people cases. But when was the last time anybody seen this dude right here? Hold on. When was the last time anybody seen this person?
Oh damn.
Who is that?
That's a good one, nephew. Wow. Yeah. We'll talk, man.
Is this what people doing to be relevant now?
You know what, man? Everybody, if you ain't never laid on that rack, bro, I don't know, man. Some of these niggas, and you know what? I ain't gonna even say I really kind of glanced at what was going on. I don't even know what Mike Tyson had to say about the shit.
Right. I don't. Yeah. I didn't hear anything. So I don't know where his head at with that. Especially if he haven't provoked. If he haven't gotten any inside material like Corey Holt.
But shit, he got. He don't need no inside material. The man got. Same shit.
But still, there's the narrative, and it's just like Timberland. You know what I mean? People like, oh man, Timberland talking about, Kendrick, but da, da, da. He still was straddling the fence though. He still was
I mean,
speaking in.
it's that eggshell shit.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
What I told you, what I told you, I say I would rather not hear your statement if your statement ends with "but."
right.
but you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like that a lot of these motherfuckers is still misinformed, but severely misinformed. But they know that shit don't feel right. So they say some shit like, well, damn, you can't just cancel the man's music, but if he did what he did, then he did. Man, everybody trying to hear that shit. They
But
shouldn't have canceled the man's music. They should have gave him a fair trial. Then none of that shit pop off. All y'all motherfuckers know it.
Yeah,
but when we talk about people like this, this is why Big Vi. This is where Big Vi separate himself. This is where our platforms separate ourselves. Because when we put these people in their prospective places, right? Tony Yayo is a street dude, right? Or wrong?
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Mike Tyson is a street dude, right or wrong?
yeah,
Facts.
They
Yeah.
both have done jail time, right or wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
What is the number one rule when you go inside prison?
Don't drop the soap.
No,
Now,
respect in your business.
they want to
Yep.
read your paperwork.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get your paperwork. They're gonna find out what you in there for.
They're gonna read your jacket.
Um.
They're gonna read the jacket.
Mhm.
So when they view your jacket, which is your paperwork,
hmm
then they form their opinion based off of what they read in your paperwork. So when I see that these guys are speaking misinformed on R. Kelly's situation, it takes away that credibility to me
Right.
because it's a street code, it's a principle that you
Yeah.
guys supposed to carry. You don't speak on what you don't know.
Right. Kevin
And,
Gates said
and
that.
that's facts, man. A
Yeah.
lot of people have been severely propagandized in this situation, man. It's like they fell for the hype and they continue to believe the hype, almost equivalent to growing up believing in Santa Claus and getting your bubble busted.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's because we believe what people say, also what we want to believe. So our country and people in it, even black folks, have been just indoctrinated into the niggas ain't shit mentality. So if somebody come against you as a black man, you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna run into it because you're gonna have to prove that you ain't a piece of shit. Because by default, you already you already a third
Right.
just by default. So you gotta make these people believe that you ain't an animal when if you a third, what the hell else could you
Right
possibly
there.
be but an
Right
animal in somebody's eyes?
there. Right there, blessed. And this is the thing right here. And Mike really didn't say nothing as it. I said I put Mike in it because Mike didn't correct Tony Yayo. Other than Mike correcting Tony Yayo, Mike said something to the nature of he still got money he can pay for protection, as if he need to be protected in prison. But
Right.
I ain't gonna hold us up with the video, man.
Right.
We gonna
Right.
get to it. But that's just like if either one of us is talking, right? And we speak ill or we misspeak on something, Uncle hold me accountable. Derek will hold me accountable, and it's vice versa. And we have a mutual respect for each other. It ain't gonna be no bitch ass nigga don't say nothing to me. Nah, it ain't gonna be that. I'ma understand. I can stand to be corrected, right?
Right.
And
I
that's
mean, but
something that we don't have. That's something that we really don't have when it comes to men having conversations, right? Because you have so many people want to be right all the time, and you are not always right.
Right.
and what black folks fail to realize, and a lot of times what trips us up is who the hell is in charge. You know, That's one of the biggest things that causes us problems because everybody, even the unqualified, want to be in charge. And it trips us up to that degree of jealousy. Well, why that person? Why, those small things, the things that we've been addressing lately within the last few, I want to say, last few lives we've done. That's come up a lot because a lot of this shit happened because of a mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Because of a thought process. Because of us wanting to maintain innocence in people who the hell ain't got it and instill guilt in people who definitely don't have it. How the hell can you even listen to, how could you have even listened to Alice in the beginning and been like, oh my God, her daughter's a victim? If people had to really listen to that interview, that initial interview where she said she regretted her buying the tickets and letting her go, if people had to listen then, none of this would have happened. None of it. And then on top of all that, listen to Azriel talking about how they made her. But these people, these celebrities, they ain't privy to precedents. They're not privy to us on live. They ain't coming down. They not coming down here. So they don't know. They know what the hell come across the ticker at the bottom of a fucking TV screen. So when we get into, Mike Tyson, I'm sure he knows, and I'm sure he tread because the man don't want to lose.
His name just came up in some shit a few months ago. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So we gonna roll it and see. But we
gonna trade because Cuba, they trying to throw Cuba in this trick bag. Diddy in the trick bag now. I mean, it's room in there for everybody. And that's the problem that I got with our entertainers, our people. It's room in this bag of bullshit for everybody. R. Kelly would never be the only person that was they wasn't going to try like this.
There's more to come. I'm finna let y'all hear what Tony Yayo had to say. And like I say, man, Mike wasn't saying much, but it's the simple fact that, like Blessed said, he allowed it without correcting it. What up, She? We here? Let me get to the video, man. Right here. And then you can tell that they've been watching, right? Because listen to Tony Yayo. He been sitting back, so he's not in the woods in this situation. He's on the road.
He may.
He got about 80 years.
I mean, what he
What happened
did
to
was
his
like
money?
fucked
No,
up,
what he did was super fucked up.
He deserved that
deserve
shit.
it, but 80 years being a dance on the table, R. Kelly. You don't understand. It's not gonna be. He deserved the time. Yes, of course.
But
Who
I
does
believe
that?
they didn't take all his money. He could pay his way through.
No, but I'm saying he gonna have a rough bid, bro. He got to be PC his whole bid, or R. Kelly, my daughter on the phone, nigga. Dance, nigga. I believe I can fly. He gonna be on the table on the mess hall.
Yes.
I believe I can touch the sky.
I wanted to ask you something.
That shit right there pissed me the fuck off. That shit right there pissed me the fuck off. And Mike co-signed the shit when this dude say that nigga gonna be on PC. Niggas gonna be making him get on the table and dance and sing.
Well, that's an uninformed statement. Anybody know the man been in gym pop for how long now?
Since he got incarcerated, since he got his time. They put him in fucking solitary confinement. Jennifer filed a motion against the shit they put him in population, man. But these are people who doesn't know the paperwork. This man, why would he have a hard time in prison? He got 80 years. Come on, Tony Yayo, yo garbage ass man. Ain't nobody.
Yeah, that was pure misinformation. I mean, the 80-year thing. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
But this is the thing. This is motherfuckers trying to become relevant again by using R. Kelly's name. That's why I say R. Kelly is out here finding missing people now.
It's dangerous, man. Shit. It's dangerous as hell, man. Like
you can't
you
go
know,
around speaking this way and you misinform again.
it's dangerous speech because when you think about it, you know how many people watch Mike Tyson shit?
Right.
Because so it's dangerous speak, you know, and you know it's crazy because the narrative is gonna change indeed, man. That man walk out them doors, it's gonna get different.
And he had a rough time in the MCC, but it wasn't a rough time due to inmates fucking with him. He had a rough time due to medical conditioners. But you see how they take that phone call that was of someone called, say they daughter asked him to sing for their daughter. This is what they using to quote unquote solidify their statement. So I'm gonna let the full video play now so you all can hear it, and you're gonna put it two and two together.
He may.
He got about 80 years.
I mean, what
happened
did
to
was
his
like
money?
fucked
No,
up,
what he
yeah.
did was
Yeah,
super
I
fucked
mean,
up.
He deserved that
deserve
shit.
it, but
Yeah.
80 years being a dance on the table, R. Kelly. You don't understand. It's not gonna be. He deserved the time. Yes, of course.
But
Who
I
does
believe
that?
they didn't
But,
take all his money. He could pay his way through.
no, but I'm saying he gonna have a rough bid, bro. He got to be PC his whole bid, or R. Kelly, my daughter on the phone, nigga. Dance, nigga. I believe I can fly. He gonna be on the table on the mess hall.
Yes.
I believe I can touch the sky.
I wanted to ask you something. Can you sing a song for me?
Which one?
Love Letter? Did you get my call?
Did you get my call? Love letter. When you read my love letter.
Thank you.
He cried over here.
Jail is fucked up, bro.
He may.
He got about 80 years.
I mean, what
happened
did
to
was
his
like
money?
fucked
No,
up,
what he
yeah.
did was
Yeah.
super.
I don't even know who the fuck that was singing. That sound like goddamn Tyrone Biggums off Dave Chappelle show.
Nah, that was that nigga. He just didn't feel like it, bruh.
I thought that was Levi.
He didn't even feel like it. It was him. He just didn't feel like it, man.
Because I'm not even sure if that's the same song that we heard when this recording came out
it
a
was.
while back.
It was.
You see how he took
It
his deep breath and exhale, and he was like, and then she starts. So I don't know who that person is. They asked that, how they get a chance to talk to him. I don't know what that. I remember that vaguely, but the dude Yayo, and then the other dude. See, here's the thing, man. That's dangerous for our culture, man. And it's a shame that we sell our souls for a little of nothing. And what I mean by that, just because you get on a platform and now you have social media, and because you can open your mouth and say something, that don't mean you should open your mouth and say something. You know what I mean?
Right. And out of all people, Tony Yayo, you don't even got a Wood album to be even opening your mouth speaking on our kid.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even be relevant if it wasn't for
hiding up on the hood like you do Red Riding Hood or something. You know what I mean? Like you going to steal something from somebody or something.
You
know what I
sitting
mean?
in a room with a hood on.
Right. You know what I mean? So this the thing, man. And our community listen to people like this. You know what I mean? You know, that's why I spoke it. That's why I spoke when I spoke, and the Spirit spoke to me. And before it came out, not even knowing it was, going to be immediate down the line or something. But I said, man, if Corey Holcomb can get a hold to, and I didn't just say for him just to speak. I said, if I put a disclaimer in there, I said, if he can get a hold, and sure enough, he was contacted. And he got some inside scoop that he didn't even reveal all of it. And he didn't need to. He's thorough. And you hear what he said, because he got the backbone, you know what I mean, and integrity, and he's thorough like that. And I knew, regardless of what you think about him as far as his artistry and his language, all that, forget all of that. When I knew if he spoke on this, with getting some information, I knew he was going to do exactly what he did.
Tell the damn truth.
How many other people took their stands like that.
What's
I'll
up,
wait.
sweet lady?
I'll
Right,
wait.
DJ. And Mike Tyson need to understand the statute of limitation has been moved. So you shouldn't speak about shit that's going on, any type of sexual assault crime, nowhere. Because guess what?
Come back.
Just like this woman just went back and tried to get Bill Cosby from 1969. Mike Tyson, you was a fucking retard back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Your past is very dark, my boy. Your past is so dark, it's still hanging over your head. You gotta walk the straight and narrow. As soon as you get out of line, they gonna swipe your ass.
Cause I'm gonna tell you, he had a situation where when he had an interview in Canada where a motherfucker brought that shit up and pissed him off. He's like, it was straight up and down. You know, being that you a convicted rapist yourself, la. The mother was like, what? I was like, good Lord.
Man, your past is like your goddamn shadow, man. No matter where you go, you can't get rid of it. And how many people can stand to face their shadow? I done seen people freak out from a shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Try to run and get away from it, but you can't. No matter where you go, it's there.
That's you, bro. So you did that shit.
This is crazy, man. And so
that's what I call how they say in the spiritual realm. They say you got individuals who are so narrow-minded that won't ever try to let you live down what the past is the past. And so what they would do, they'll get their scuba diving gear and they'll dive in a sea of forgetfulness of their mess and swim past their stuff and be digging up yours. You know what kind of satanic twisted mind does that? But that's what you hear on these platforms and
what's up,
these,
Rena?
you know what I mean? They got influence when they open their mouth and say something.
But that's what the devil is, man. The devil is an accuser, man. The devil is a ditch digger.
That's it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I'm glad my elders and my friends and my people on both sides of my family. What I gathered from them is to think for yourself. You know what I mean? Gather the information, do your necessary footwork and homework, research thoroughly. You know what I mean? Gain the knowledge and information, research and fact check, whatever it is, and then execute as necessary. If I was just to sum up, now looking back, that's what I would come up with right now. You know what I mean? One of the key things, values that I learned. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's not celebrated though. That's not popular. It's like Denzel Washington said, it's not about the truth anymore. Who can put the news out or get the first. No matter who is slandered, no matter who it hurt, no matter who it destroyed. You know what I mean? Ain't no true journalism anymore. They're not concerned about that. You know what I mean?
But my problem is they talking about the man's money. They talking about protection. They talking about this and they talking about that. But ain't nobody in the mainstream talking about them text messages between the mom and the daughter.
Yep. And that's what all this
That's something to talk about.
That's what deflection is. That's what it provokes. That's what the deflection is, to get people's mind off of that. Anytime you know there's ground being gained and truth being getting out, revealing, people waking up and saying, what? I don't even, whoa, that changes everything.
And the media doing a damn good job of hiding this information from people, man.
Yeah.
Them text messages is game changers.
Yeah.
That changes the game. That really would change somebody's mind. If her mama did what? That'll change anybody's mind. So if you think about it in that aspect, that's the reason why when anything, a good motion, a good anything, appeal, nothing, you get nothing from them. They're not going to say anything. They're not even going to be stupid enough to put a juror on the television.
Yep.
They can't do it because it's bullshit, and the jury gonna be like, I didn't like the nigga no way. You already know the jury gonna come free with it because they was able to do it anyway. I'll try. I'll give it a shot, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, so when we look at this shit the way for what it is, man, it was all rigged bullshit, man. You know, the media's rigged, everything is rigged to tell a story that they wanted to tell. You can't tell me that don't nobody in the media know that mama sent them damn text messages. Mainstream media knows about it. I know they do.
Well, that just goes to show you who control mainstream media. It goes
Ain't
back
no way in the hell, bro.
It goes back to the Kanye West video about red media.
I mean, there is no way that information skipped past mainstream media and made it all the way down to the YouTube streets.
Yeah.
No way.
That's the danger. That's the danger in the society that we live in. They pick and choose who they want to destroy for whatever reason they come up with, whatever their agenda is.
And the crazy thing is, if you look at this on a bigger scale, you know, in prima donna, I always said that this shit is bigger than R. Kelly. Right. If they can sit here, they can lie and omit shit that is pertinent and don't tell us shit just because they want a man in jail. They refuse to talk about some nasty ass text messages and shine a light on the parents, man. Imagine all the shit that they not telling us about other shit.
Right. That they knew that they had all in their possession. Man, I don't know what type of hate that they have to be that like the guy, like you said the other day. I listened to the live, nephew. I'm sorry, I had midnight, so I got in late. So when I kind of crashed, and so I didn't catch your live that morning. But like he was saying, you know what I mean? They just, I don't know, man. It's
look at the screen though,
cool, man.
Y'all look at the screen though.
Who is that?
I'll tell you another thing with media.
Who is this?
Who is this?
Oh Lord!
Let me show
I know who that is. Peter Calhoun pops.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shout out to Twitter.
Coach Calhoun.
What? I didn't hear nothing about.
He out there sneaking freaks with the cheerleaders and the volleyball players.
Wow. Really?
That R. Kelly karma serious. Folk need to tell the truth.
Interesting. Wow.
But J-Rock been saying this for the longest about that R. Kelly karma train.
Oh, it rolls up, bro.
It's going around. And the thing is, I'm going to let y'all hear the article. Shout out to my Twitter family. Shout out to Justice for RK over on Instagram. I'm going to let y'all hear the news article. And then I'm going to give y'all my take on it and then let y'all decipher it.
Okay. All right. What's up,
That's how we start today at 5. 57-year-old Peter Calhoun works at Lakewood High School and was arrested on Friday. News 19's Sam Perez joins us now from Sumter with the latest.
A Lakewood High School coach is charged with sexual battery after the Sumter Police Department says it discovered an inappropriate relationship with a student.
Made me sick in my stomach.
One Sumter resident's reaction after she found out Peter Calhoun, a Lakewood High School coach, is charged with sexual battery. She didn't want to be on camera, but talked about her concern after her two younger brothers recently graduated from the district.
We already have to worry about kids being able to be fed proper meals in school, or school shootings, or bullying and this and that, and now we have to find ways to pick out child predators out of school.
The Sumter School District says Calhoun started working at Lakewood at the beginning of the school year. He's now on administrative leave. This comes after 2 other Sumter coaches were arrested earlier this year on charges of inappropriate relations with students.
It really does something to kids mentally. Not even at the time, but years later. And here I am, about to be 37 next week. And I was taken advantage of when I was 6, and then later on in my adult life also. And it sticks with you mentally. It does something, and I do not wish that upon any kid.
The police department started its investigation earlier this month after responding to an indecent exposure call, which they say involved Calhoun and a student. According to the department, information gathered indicates there have been multiple encounters between the two, but none happened on school property. It's unclear at this point if there are any other victims. That investigation is ongoing. Reporting in Sumter, Sam Perez, News 19 WLTX.
Well, according to law enforcement, Calhoun was denied bond and is currently being held at the Sumter County Jail. That's how we start today at 5. 57-year-old Peter Calhoun works at Lakewood High School and was arrested on Friday. News 19.
Well, first I want to say,
Wow.
they always seem to find a victim somewhere. And whoever victimized this lady when she was 6 years old, you can get your ass ready. Because the conversation, they sent her probably straight to the officer somewhere and give a statement of who assaulted her when she was 6. But my thing is this. This is an issue that I have. They be so quick to call R. Kelly a disgraced singer, a victim of the disgraced singer. They always throw R. Kelly's name in there. Why is it that this particular time, this particular incident, they failed to mention that this is the father of an accuser that alleges that R. Kelly did committed sexual crimes against. Now, do y'all get where I'm coming from? This is the father of an alleged accuser of Robert Sylvester Kelly, who's out here committing sexual assaults on students in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, it was three other staff members arrested earlier that year for the same thing. So could this be a RICO?
There is a common purpose.
Could this be a RICO? Could this be something that these people then sat around and gathered up and talked about these mature-looking students in the schoolhouse?
We need some new lawmakers, man.
I'm a year back and let y'all have it. Because I just want to know if y'all coming from where I'm coming.
I'm gonna pass it to provoke thought. I'm gonna put back to provoke thought.
Well, as I sit here smoking on my granddaddy perp, I think about how karma is so real in this situation, because you sit up here and you scare these people in this court a video of you having scat sex with your damn self. And you made them believe that R. Kelly made you smear whatever chocolate syrup and peanut butter you smeared on yourself, because ain't no way. I know you smarter than that. And that's real. So when you go in and doing all of that, and you turn around and you look years later, a couple of years later, where you got all these people that you can round them up name by name. You can go Michael Avenatti, you can go Daryl Johnson, you can go Tasha K, you can go Azriel Clary, you can go Tim Savage. All of these people still either got the same problems, or their problems are even worse. Because when you mess with God's anointed, this is what happens. Regardless of what you feel about that man, regardless of what you think that he has done, the man is blessed with a God-given talent that you can't take away. And when somebody is anointed and appointed and you throw them off of their shit, God gonna come for you regardless.
But Derek, do you know how they say manager of disgraced singer R. Kelly?
Absolutely.
Brother of disgraced singer R. Kelly. But now, this is the father of an alleged accuser who's being accused and held with no bond because they have evidence that he made sexual contact with these students off campus.
Yeah. It's real, man. It's real. It's real. It's like, where's the outrage? Where's the question marks? Well, let's just say I'm almost certain that some people, even if it was detractors of R. Kelly, are like, huh. And then they can't say shit because they've not already picked a side. I'm sure it's millions of people out there like that at this point that have heard little things like, huh, that's damn. But I already picked a side. That's just the way that society is. We over here having our aha moments, which we've had millions of them. But a few people are, and that's why with all of this, that's how you get a Timberland popping out saying, you shouldn't mute the man's music, but if you did what it did, saying, having to put the sprinkles on top for these idiots. And we was picking up what you was putting down.
Read that comment right there. Ain't this alleged that Tim Savage did the same thing?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Think about how the story about how Jocelyn ran out the car. What was that? Ran out the car and locked the door in the bathroom or something. Something crazy happened when they was out after that interrogation scene. Because I think that might have been the last time they ever saw their daughter in person. What you think? Do you think that
I'm going to say something that Sir Miguel say all the time. Motherfuckers like Peter like what they like.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't no turning it on and turning it off. So guess what now? They finna have to go back from other schools that he came from. Because he only been at this school this year. Right. So now they finna dig into his history from other schools that he's been to. But they say R. Kelly was around Kenwood picking up the. I'm just saying.
I had a conversation recently with a young lady, and it's crazy because we straddling the fence of what morality and legality. That's the fence that we on. Because she went on this rant about how R. Kelly came to a high school and picked up her 17-year-old friend right here in Indiana. And I'm like, excuse me, baby girl, you're doing all this ranting. But even still, he didn't break not one law. Statute of limitations 16. Although crude and kind of like, damn, he still didn't break no law. Whatever you're talking about. He said it's on Gayle King. Only thing he concerned with is legal. And we ain't even talking, and I don't believe that truth be told, young females is going after him, man. He ain't been going after no young chicks. Because young chicks know he got money, might spend some on me. Inhibitions fall for money. People put themselves out there for money. Parents sought their kids out for money.
Just a second, Derek. Just a second. You right, Gemini Dub. He started the 2022-2023 school term. So he started in 2023, but he only been there for this school term. Well, the 2022-2023 school term.
But I'm sure that Mr. Calhoun encouraged some of the behaviors and some of the things maybe that his daughter did in her younger years. Who knows where the rabbit hole goes with this one?
And not only that, 3 other staff members have been arrested this school term. So you just fuck it.
Now should we also go ahead and say, hold on, wait a minute, let's gather all the facts, innocent until proven guilty. Right? I mean, should we also say that?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, everybody is warranted that. You know what I mean? Every
Absolutely.
person.
I mean, absolutely. Now, the thing of it is to me, it's the karma. Because if you can't hear, you can definitely feel.
Right. I just want them to keep that same energy. But unfortunately, it's a concerted effort. Man, I say it again, Derek, and we say it all the time. I've never seen nothing like it. You know what I mean? The attack on this one person. And I mean, and it's higher up. It's higher up. You know what I mean? And I think it's a experiment. I think it's an experiment. Because like we say, if they can do this to someone like this gentleman, then the average cat walking man is doomed. You know what I mean? It's a wrap. I don't know how people can see that and comprehend that. Or they just refuse to just say, well, you know, that's his situation. Or you just that naive to think this can never come knocking on your door or around your proximity. I don't get none of that. You know what I mean? I don't get none of that. We pick and choose. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe because of stuff we're trying to not let resurface in our thought process from our past. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? That makes us be able to be okay when then someone just pull a wool over our eyes and just, you know, and we just go with it. But they use you and they deceive you and they trick you, they fool you. And y'all don't feel no type of way about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a whole bamboozle, man. I mean, when you look at it, when you really look at it, it was people got hoodwinked in this one.
Yeah, I mean, look at the simple fact though. You have to, like me, the shit that I think about. Man, look at what your daughter just went through in 2022.
Yep.
And you turn around and get accused of the same
similar allegation. Yep.
You gotta where is the mental?
Yeah, I would love to hear her thoughts of what her mind is now.
You see what I'm saying? Like, damn, I'm sitting here. How am I confiding in my dad about what R. Kelly did to me? Is he concerned, or is he acceptable to the shit that I'm telling him? Because now I'm going. Me personally, I'm finna wonder whether shit when I was coming and telling you about what was going on with me, did you even care? Because you out here committing the same fucking allegations. You are actually committing. You were caught in fucking text form, sending pictures of yourself and everything. Your daughter was of age when she met R. Kelly.
Yep.
You are doing this shit with kids that are in high school.
Yeah.
So now, like I say, now they finna go back through his records and say, well, we need to go to the previous high school. We need to go ask questions to the previous kids he's coached. Has he ever touched you? Has he ever got out of line with you? Said anything inappropriate to you? He might have opened up a fucking can of worms that finna be his worst nightmare.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I kept saying it, nephew, you know, until it comes knocks on someone's door. That's why I say it's best for you to keep your mouth closed and think for yourself. Don't get easily swayed. Don't let nobody gaslight you, hoodwink you. Don't let them, hey, pump you up, man. Because I'm telling you, because you be out here looking like a fool. If something happen to you, I'm telling you, this ain't what you
You're
want.
right. She said that R. Kelly did nothing to her, but when y'all go back to the New York trial, when they say they were showing the audio, they let people hear the audio, but they didn't have an actual video. It was supposed to be R. Kelly threatening her, Calhoun, or whatever. But I mean, this shit is just like all of these people that testified. He wasn't charged for her, but she gave testimony, which we now know was bad act witnesses.
Right, right. Like Mr. Q said the other day. You know what I mean? That's all you need. All they needed was some puppets, man. That's all.
And the government knew that because that's why they took that shit from state. But if it would have stayed on the state level, they would have had to prove this shit.
Right, right. So
But
they can get around to double jeopardy and be able to introduce the RICO. That's why they did, man. Study this for
what up, J
years.
Rock?
We spoke J Rock up. That's what's
What
up.
up, Big Bob?
Oh man,
I
summon
said,
that
where is
dude.
J Rock at? J Rock talk about this karma train all the time.
What up, Derek?
What's going on, J Rock?
What up? What up?
Man, like the late Kevin Samuel said, you can't make this shit up. It just gets it just gets better all the time.
Yes, it does, J Rock. Yes, it does.
I could never, ever would have imagined in a million years that her father would be accused of the very similar allegation that R. Kelly is accused of. And I caught a little bit of what Big Vi said earlier. You never heard nobody call him a disgraced teacher.
Right.
It's the same playbook that they did with Michael Avenatti. Because of the fact, if you hear about Michael Avenatti, the only thing you'll hear about is him representing Stormy Daniels against Donald Trump. You will never hear Michael Avenatti's involvement in R. Kelly's case. And you can pull up an article, I think in the New York Post, I believe it is, and it's a prime example of that. You will not hear one word about his involvement in R. Kelly's case. Because if they've already called him, if he's been known as an extortionist and a fraud, and if you throw R. Kelly's case in it, that means everything that they accuse R. Kelly of is also going to be it's going to be suspect and questionable.
I mean, because 90% of it is bullshit. Even if it's Donald Trump or R. Kelly, that's what he's saying. Shit.
Yep. Came out of his
mouth.
You could come out and say that is 90% bullshit when that 90% of bullshit is coming from Me Too, Time's Up. You got the judges on your side. You got the prosecutors on your side. You got these accusers on your side. That's the 90% of bullshit right there.
I am wondering how Hallie Calhoun is feeling right now.
Like shit, probably. At least that's what she testified to in court. This is just like, at this point, like I say, man, R. Kelly is on vacation right now. He on the beach with his feet kicked up right now, goddamn, enjoying the sun. And these people are out here just goddamn can't stay out of the news. Now they want to talk about seizing his money, trying to hurry up and pay these accusers before this case get overturned. But why this shit ain't the mainstream news all over? R. Kelly accuser father has been charged with sexual conduct against students. Why the headline? What Gail at? You know what I'm saying? What Gail at? Since you like to prep people, you know what I'm saying? You know, before you do interviews and shit, according to the Star Witness in New York.
And that's very funny when you talk about the Star Witness in New York, because she jumped up there talking about he had us rehearsing over and over and over again. But then you get on, who was it, Jason Lee, whatever the hell his name is, talking about, well, we didn't know we were going to be on with Gail King till like maybe about 24 hours later. But you said he rehearsed with you days on top of days. So there's a big difference between days and 24 hours.
Yeah.
Unless she went to the same school that old girl talking about, you can get
2
years, 2 years and 5, like 5 or some shit.
We went from 16 to 1989 to 21.
16 to 21 in 2 years.
Boy, I don't know why they found these women that came against Kells, man. And shout out to Malicious Conspiracy, man. They put out another video over there. Let me try to see if I can get that, because that was a good one today too. They've been putting out some good videos, short, straight to the point, man. Good.
And the fact that Tony Yayo want to jump up here talking that crazy shit, really?
You remember him?
Yeah, I remember Tony Yayo. When 50 first came out with G-Unit and everybody, yeah, I remember Tony Yayo.
Well, he was the flavor of the group, though, right?
You can kind of say that.
That's crazy.
I just want to know what his expression gonna be when R. Kelly get out of jail and all that stuff gonna come out that he been mouthing off, because then people gonna start look at him crazy. See, I'm at the point now. I don't trust no black celebrity no more.
Yeah, J-Rock, that's saying a mouthful. Elaborate.
And I hate to say that about, especially about some of my people, for the fact that I know some of them worked hard to get where they are. But for them to go ahead and be perfectly cool with the fact of doing a public lynching on one of your own, and you really don't know all the shit, and you just and you know this shit is suspect, and you still ride with it anyway. Nah, I can't roll with y'all. I can't do that.
I can't ride with you. What Denny Green say? I can't ride. I can't win with him.
Now you know my famous quote by Pac. I'd rather live like a man than die like a coward. You know what I mean? Because all I got is my good character, my good word, and my integrity. Everything else, you know what I mean, there in this world, they can take from me. It can be gone. All I got is what I'm blessed from within. You know what I mean? I don't got nothing else. So if I don't stand on that, then I'm not even fit to live. Then why am I here taking the space?
Yeah, Muse, I'm at the point right now. I could tell you like this. I'm at the point right now that we supposed to be celebrating Black Music Month this month, and then they got all these so-called celebrations, Black Music honors, and everything else. I'm at the point right now. If you give me an invitation to go, I ain't going. I will not go.
Yeah.
I'm at that point. I don't care if it's Essence Festival, Black Music Honors, BET Awards. You give me an invite, I'm not going. I'm at that point now.
Crazy.
I will turn around. I will give my ticket to somebody else. I will not do it.
And it's so jacked up because they literally tried to mute this man. And every time you turn around on the radio, you hear "Fortunate."
Have y'all seen this person?
Oh no!
Still searching for a hit record.
Damn. Not the milk carton vibe. Come on, man.
Man, R. Kelly done found a missing person, man. and he on vacation and he finding missing people. Boy, that's crazy. But yeah, man. Let me run this old malicious conspiracy video, man. Look who we got. Boss Baby. Y'all see, we got a little bit better equipment now, man.
See you over there, man.
It's important that we pay attention to what happened in the R. Kelly trial. The prosecutors themselves have admitted that they received multiple versions of the tape, some of which were altered or manipulated. Despite this, they have chosen to present a particular version of the tape without explaining why they made that decision. Then, to make matter worse, the judge in the case has claimed that the woman could authenticate the tape, which essentially means that if she believes the person on the tape is who the prosecution claims it is. However, many of us are left wondering how she can make that claim without bringing in actual experts who can investigate the tape thoroughly. What's even more concerning is that the prosecution has admitted that they don't know if the tape they chose was altered or manipulated. To add fuel to the fire, the defense's request to bring in experts to authenticate the tape has been denied by the judge. But don't worry, it's all good. Instead, a woman who changed her story after 20 years for a $14 million payout is going to authenticate it. I mean, who needs experts when you have someone like that? It's not like the authenticity of the evidence is crucial to the trial or anything. And if that wasn't enough, the prosecution has admitted that they don't even know if the tape they're presenting is authentic. Who needs facts when you have a jury that is already tainted by the media and won't question anything, right? All we can do now is sit back and watch this circus unfold on the appeal process, because apparently, justice is just a formality. Let's get real here, folks. The fact that a witness can simply say something without presenting any evidence to back it up and have their word taken at face value is deeply troubling. It raises serious questions about the prosecution's commitment to pursuing the truth in this case. Are they really interested in uncovering the facts? Are they more interested in securing a conviction at any cost? It even gets weirder as it came to light that the prosecution only showed the woman a still picture from the tape and not the actual video.
I told somebody, people arguing me, said they had a video. I say these people show still clips. How does that verify or authenticate a fucking tape?
Man.
This is shit that actually went on in the trial that people don't want to accept it because they just want to say, yeah, they hold that nigga on the tape. Yeah, they hold that nigga on the tape. It kind of looked like his head. We kept rewinding the tape back on some Friday type shit. Let's go.
A still picture will not provide enough information to make a definitive identification or authentication. Without viewing the actual video on the tape, it's difficult to make a clear determination. Let's call a spade, shall we? It's highly suspicious that the prosecution has denied R. Kelly's request to bring in experts to authenticate the tape.
What did they just say? Who denied the request?
The prosecution.
Sound like they said the prosecution denied.
But if they tape was so clear, as Michael Avenatti stated, why would they deny an expert to come in and authenticate? First of all, we got to understand that the original tape was missing from evidence. Then they went on to say that tape 1, 2, and 3 that was turned in by Michael Avenatti and the journalist Jim DeRogatis was altered. But I'm still trying to understand, if Jim DeRogatis turned in child pornography tape, how did he avoid the stain?
Man. We may never know the answers.
It's in the transcript. Let's go.
Tape. Isn't the trial supposed to be about finding the truth? Or is it because they didn't like the truth they found in the 2008 trial, where he was declared innocent and not guilty for the same tape they used again?
He had a wave to the media and fans waiting for him. His burden lifted after being acquitted on all 14 counts. It was a resounding victory for the superstar singer after a 6-year legal odyssey.
The whole trial was a farce. It was a pathetic attempt to manipulate the outcome and a blatant abuse of power. Otherwise, why are they even trying him for something that they can't even prove? It seems like this trial was more about revenge than justice. So now they're trying to get him on the same tape again.
Does that sound accurate to you guys?
Yeah, it does.
Sound like revenge versus proving this man actually did something. Because no matter how they go about it, no matter how they try to talk, no matter how they try to cook it, no matter how they try to bake it, you all brought back the same goddamn case.
Right. This ain't nothing but the prosecution's remix.
Yep. The remix to convictions, as they say on one of them journalists on Twitter. But I got something for his ass because soon Kels come up out of that can, they gonna ban me from Twitter.
Despite not having any concrete evidence to support their case and denying the investigation of the experts. It's a disgraceful abuse of power and highlights the need for a justice system that values the truth above all else. It's not surprising that the media has been silent about the actual court findings and what transpired during R. Kelly's trial, given their focus on ratings and sensationalism over accuracy and truth. Despite years of hype around the tape, the prosecution failed to authenticate it for the second time, leaving serious doubts about its validity. It's essential to rely on accurate information from official court documents and other reliable sources, rather than sensationalized media coverage. We must demand transparency and full disclosure from both the media and the justice system regarding all evidence presented in the trial.
After poring over the facts, it seems a critical detail was twisted for the public. Claims Roshona refused testifying in the 2008 trial are bogus. Truth is, Roshona already testified before the grand jury and prosecution in 2002, saying that tape ain't her and spoke to the police and gave her statement.
Then we hear somebody say all that the police needed from her was a statement. She didn't have to be there.
Right.
But they took her not being there and try to make it seem as if he paid them off to not be there. But she had already gave a statement before the trial even came about.
Funny how they left that little bit of information out.
It was the prosecutor's decision not to do so. Prosecutors, knowing Roshona's testimony would sink their case, didn't bother calling her at trial, likely influenced by experts saying that tape was doctored anyways. But now that Roshona was offered $14 million to change her story by the feds, and promising her they will deny experts to come and authenticate the tape. She came in 20 years later with different story that helps her to secure that check. So Roshona had her civil lawyer sitting pretty in the front row during the trial, while she blatantly lied under oath on the stand. When asked if she was testifying 20 years later with a different story for money, she denied it with a straight face. Little did the jury know, she had already prepared a $14 million restitution pack with said lawyer. She lied to cover up her motive for changing her story. But hey, who needs honesty when you have immunity deals and heaps of cash? Apparently, she was given an immunity deal, Section 8 voucher, and promised to get $14 million in exchange for her change of story. The judge rejected the outrageous amount of money, and now the case is awaiting appeal by the defense team at the Supreme Court. Talk about a real legal circus the media is silent about.
And the
fact they see their case falling apart. Now they rushing to try to seize the man money from Sony to try to pay Azrael so she can go out and pay Pookie up the street and get her
and so she won't expose him.
They trying to keep her quiet by paying her right now so she won't come out and talk because they know, like Tim Savage say, the bitch is a loose cannon. I don't mean to call her that, but Tim Savage say these females are loose cannons. And I believe that when he say that.
And also, let's not forget about the fact that Roshona Landfair had a $50,000 retainer on the lawyers that's supposed to be going up for this damn $14 million.
She lost, so now she 50,000 in debt.
Mm-hmm.
In the hole, bro.
Now you look at if it's proof like the previous video, it was never proven that R. Kelly gave the star witness or the other one, not Nia, but the other lady in the New York trial. It was never proven that neither one of them had contracted any type of sexually transmitted disease. So why did the star witness need $350,000 for Valtrex, and the other chick only needed $40,000? You got to make this shit make sense. Don't that sound like a operation payment to me? Because if it was about the treatment, then that means these payments should have been balanced.
Right.
How is you gonna say one chick need $350,000 worth of Valtrex, and the other chick only need $40,000? What, she finna die next week?
Oh, you funny,
She
bro.
should have had a lifetime. There should have been a lifetime supply of Valtrex at the expense of the defendant. That means every time you go, he get charged versus giving you a settlement of $350,000. The motherfucker ain't only gonna buy no goddamn pills or medication, period. But the government think that we so goddamn naive and think that we so crazy. This is what y'all promised these women that they would receive for their cooperation.
Yeah.
Because without them, without Azrael, New York had no case.
Yeah.
Now it's so bad now. And now you gotta look at this now. If they giving Boss Baby Section 8, why couldn't they give the star witness Azrael and the other girl Medicaid?
Yeah.
I had a conversation with a friend of mine over the weekend. And she was in the hospital, so I went ahead and visited her for a few, and we were talking, and somebody I went to college with, and when we was talking a few minutes, and I'll just let her know. In regards to the R. Kelly situation, I told her, I said, look, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna have to tell you this right now. That R. Kelly has been lied on for over 25 years. Hate to break it to you. Hate to tell you, but it's the absolute truth. And she came back with some of the same stuff. Well, I believe something happened with some young girls, but we ain't gonna never really know the truth. I said, well, I can tell you some of the truth right now. One of which is I brought up the whole Aaliyah thing. I brought up the Aaliyah and how Demetra Smith lied on the stand and lied and pretty much lied to everybody on every interview he's been on. And I also brought up the fact about the tape. So I said, my question is, if the Aaliyah story, I just debunked that, and the tape, I just debunked that, where are the other young girls that all these people are talking about?
Right. And even with the tape situation, right? We know if they entering in a tape into court, it has to be the original form, right?
Right. And one of the main things that they keep talking about.
How was this Homeland Security agent able to take these 3 tapes from Michael Avenatti, Jim Derogatis, and pick and choose clips from the tape that he saw fit? Isn't that considered altering?
Well, one of the things that they talked about, which would probably be considered altered. One of the other things that they always talk about is transfer of the tape to different parties and different sources. which means that the tape, and then especially when you talk, well, it was on VHS, now we transferred it over to disc. That's transferring over. It's still not the original information you're talking about.
No, it should have been the actual tape.
But then you had that dude Chuck Green, who was the one that was holding on to the tape, talking, well, I held on to the tape because the police weren't gonna give me $1 million for it.
And right then and there, I knew it wasn't child. And then it was at that moment I knew it wasn't child pornography. When he made that statement, I knew it wasn't child pornography.
Nope. Because how would you hold on? Why would you hold on to something like child pornography for 19 years?
And you admitted to burning copies of it, and you admitted to distributing the copies of it. So you committed to nothing but crimes. If this was true, fact, child pornography, there wasn't no way he could get immunity. But we were speaking as far as this government even admits that they received multiple versions of video one, and that some of them were altered and manipulated. The Homeland Security agent made digitized versions. So he took it from a goddamn tape and put it on a flash drive or whatever they transferred it to. So this transferred it from the original tape to whatever he put it on. And they say the Homeland Security made digitized versions of some of the copies, but did not explain what versions the agent chose and why those particular versions. So they just took some shit, put it together, didn't even have to explain how they put it together, why they chose these still photos, or none of that.
They just had a chopped and screwed sex tape.
Honestly. Of Drea, Lisa Van Allen, R. Kelly, because according to Bo Brindley, the tape that they bought back from Chuck was a tape of R. Kelly having a threesome with Lisa Van Allen and his wife.
Yep. And one of my best friends told me this story years ago. A close friend of his family who passed away a few years ago, God rest her soul. She told him, she said, I saw a copy. She said, I saw a copy of the tape. And she said she saw a good copy of it. And she said, I'm gonna say she told him, she said, I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna shock you. She said, I could tell you from what I saw, that was not R. Kelly on that tape. So you got all these sex tapes floating all over the place. And she said the tape that she saw, that wasn't him.
Man, you gotta let women talk about that tape, because when the women talk about that tape, they analyze it totally different from a man perspective. And all of the women that I've heard talk about that tape, they say it was so many discrepancies within the people, significant.
Mm-hmm.
Within the features. Derek, you there? You gone?
No, I'm here, man.
Okay.
I'm actually sitting up. I'm actively listening right now. I was actually cleaning up my room.
Let's go right here, because somebody pointed this out to us a while ago. Let's check this video out, man, because they say our boy old K, what they call K Killer, was in this video with Kales. And let's look at this video. Let me get this off the screen right here, and let's see if the comparisons really dead on. I'm loving the computer, boy. You hear me? Carrie right there, y'all. That's old Carrie right there, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
That's old Carrie. Good old shot of Carrie. Damn, Carrie was little back then, man. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Killer must have got on them noodles, man.
Mm-hmm. Thinking you right up, boy.
Thing that we done heard, and people coming out saying, you know, they was asked to go and say it was them on the tape, saying that I used to be a body double for my brother. In order to be a body double, that means you gotta be very convincing.
Mm-hmm.
In order for you to be a body double, you have to be very convincing, you know, to the people.
Unfortunately, the only thing Carrie could be a double for right now would be a double Whopper with cheese.
Man, Carrie, man, it
He
messed
damn
me
sure
up.
could be a body double now.
It messed me up back. It messed me up. I heard Bruce a few days, well, last week. I heard Bruce talking about a situation with Don Russell. You know, put the man out, knowing that he paroled to his house, put him out. Then he did the most police shit you can do. You know, the man paroled to your house, you put him out, then call the police on.
Mm-hmm.
Police violated him. He ended up going back to jail. Y'all haven't heard that? Y'all haven't seen that?
No. Run that.
All right. Hold on. Well, I need to go back and look at this. AGN Newsroom put out something 6 days ago. Kim Fox's secret job with Sony Records exposed. Let's see. I think it's right here.
The science actually made sense. Each foot.
This is Bruce Kelly again. You are watching ATM Newsroom, the Bruce and Sasha Show. Cut the shit. We are back with part 4 of Who is Don Russell. Now, we are back at the dining room table where we left off, where Carrie and Don had come to the house with a couple of Don's goons and Santee, and Carrie's manager, I guess he called himself, was going to surprise me. And so we're going to get right back into it, and I'm going to let you guys know what happened. So they did come to the house. This was January the 10th. And I was kind of surprised that they did come, but I thought we were just going to go ahead and have the meeting that we had planned on having on the 13th. But I just thought we were just going to go ahead and have the meeting now. But I was in for quite a surprise because when Don told me, we got to talk, that let me know that something was wrong. So I'm like, what we got to talk about? And then he was like, well, you stealing from me? And I was like, what do you mean stealing from you? Where is this coming from? And when I said that, Kerry, pressed the button on his phone, which I guess it was played because Robert's music began to play. So when I heard the music, I knew Kerry had pretty much threw me under the bus, which let me know Don knew that Kerry had the album that I had recorded. So I felt like this. Okay, yeah, okay. I took the Robert's CD out of Don's out of his truck, and I recorded it on my computer and made a copy. I put it on my computer, and I sent a copy of the album to Kerry so Kerry could have it. But I told Don, this is my brother's material. This is Robert's material. So how is that stealing from you? So he said, well, it was in his truck. Therefore, if I took it out of there, that's stealing. So now I'm really like pissed off. I'm like, well, this came out my brother's warehouse, which he did not give you the permission to take it. So who's the thief here? Me or you? You took this out of my brother's warehouse, as did the masters. His masters you took out the warehouse without his permission. So you tell me who's the thief here. You're the thief. Now I was beginning to get very angry that Kerry, first of all, had ratted me out. And then Don acted like the stuff that he took out of my brother's warehouse was his to do with what he wanted to do with it. So I got seriously angry, and when I started, talking, I stood up. And when I stood up, Kerry said, he said something like, yeah, and there's another thing. And when he said that, I said, don't nobody want to hear from you. You a rat. You sit up here, you gonna sit up here and throw me under the bus. You're not part of this family, dude. And when I said that, he was like, who you think you talking to? I'll kill you up in here. And this is my...
Who make threats like that to their brother?
A crackhead.
No, brother.
A junkie.
Sit up here, you gonna sit up here and throw me under the bus? You're not part of this family, dude. And when I said that, he was like, who you think you talking to? I'll kill you up in here. And this is my brother. My younger brother said he would kill me up in here in front of these guys, in front of Don, in front of Santee. Like, like he did not, he didn't care about the family. He don't care about brotherhood. He don't care about Robert and anything that we had going on. All he cared about.
Y'all remember Don Russell said he gave Kerry that watch?
What was going on with Don and I guess Indy Build and forget Robert and Robert being locked up. Forget the documentary in which we were trying to produce. Forget everything. So at this point, Don told me I got to leave. I got to go. So I went to go pack a bag because I had a lot of stuff and I wasn't going to be able to take everything at one time. So I went and I got my bass guitar. And when I went to go get my guitar, Terry followed me into the room and disconnected the computer and snatched the computer, which it was a computer that he had given me. But, that's the kind of little boy that he is. If he gave you something and he get mad at you, he take it back like a little boy or a little girl. That's just what he did. So I didn't care. He could take that computer because I could have bought another one. In fact, that's what I ended up doing, was buying another computer. So that didn't faze me, But I did have to get out of there.
Oh, what done though?
A lot of strange things going on. They try to, dictate to me, and I'm a grown man. Here I am, almost 60 years old, and they're trying to tell me what to do, what to say, who to let on my Facebook page, what channels to go on YouTube, who to look at, who not to look at. I mean, all these things were, they tried to dictate to me. And I was not going to let June or Don dictate to me who to talk to, who not to talk to, who to tell about my documentary, who not to tell. All these different things were going on, and it was just very annoying to me that here I am, I'm a grown man, but these are other people telling me what I should do, who I should talk to, I shouldn't talk to, and all this and stuff. So the bottom line is I was going to end up having to leave Don's house, in which that was the case, pretty much so the case, in which he did end up. He ended up telling my probation officer that I stole stuff out the house and all this and whatnot, in which I did not take anything out of that house. Only thing, like I said, that I took out the house, and I told my my parole officer, the only thing that I did was tape my brother's music. So I was not charged with that. But the only thing that I was charged with is the fact that I was not at his house anymore. So I had a violation of parole because I was not there anymore. And that's why I had to go back down to the penitentiary. And
so it sounds like Don wanted to reported that you stole something, but that was not necessarily, it was unfounded with your parole officer. The violation came from just not being at the residence that you paroled to, right?
Exactly. Yeah, okay. He thought that he was going to, and then he tried to lie on me and say that I took some very valuable coins, some coins that were worth $15,000 or some mess he tried to come up with, but that didn't work. Because first of all, I didn't take any coins from him.
But y'all get the gist of it. Y'all get the gist of it, man.
You know? Hey, dude, dirty, fam.
Yeah, you see Don Russell, boy.
Dude, dirty, bro. That's dirty shit.
Sat there, put the man out, then called his parole people and said that he stole some music and $15,000 worth of coins. Then got the man violated and sent back to jail.
Man, dude, trash, man.
And not only Kerry assisted Don Russell in that transaction. Kerry, you assisted Don Russell in sending your brother back to jail.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just when you think that things couldn't get any lower, or people could get any lower,
Maurice?
Somebody else.
What's up, Linda? What's up, Connie?
Somebody else always seems to lower the bar.
This is sad, man.
Yeah, both of them dirty, man. But Kerry been trash, man.
I seen a video of Kerry doing an interview out in Chicago somewhere. He had on a black fur coat. He talking about his daughter being harassed at school and all type of just nonsense. Like, nigga, don't nobody in your goddamn daughter's school know about no goddamn R. Kelly. Your daughter, you say she 5 or 6 years old.
Man.
But it's sad that all of this shit that goes on now, some like that goes on surrounding R. Kelly, that they see, the government know the people who are out here doing the malicious shit, but they are allowing them to do it because they are using these people like Don and other people as distractions to not be, so they shit don't be exposed the way that it should. It ain't no reason, like you say, Derek, these text messages, man, they should have had these fucking text messages on Wheel of Fortune, The Price is Right, any goddamn, in the heat of the night, goddamn bright. They could have had these text messages on The Bold and the Beauty. I mean, put it everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't understand how you skip over that. That's bigger than them trying to get his bread.
Yeah.
Right. Put these text messages on As the World Turns. Oh, put it everywhere.
That's a good one. That's the world turn. Yeah, I've been busy.
But eventually the world about to know about them text messages.
We need to have a text message commercial like the motherfucker that smoke cigarettes. They come and put that thing on their neck. We gotta stop breaking news. Did you all know that alleged accuser in R. Kelly case mother was texting the defendant pretending to be her daughter? Come on, man. Y'all hear Grady Judge say yesterday that when they got a call from the parent, they said that their daughter was 17 and then she moved with R. Kelly when she was 18.
Mm-hmm.
They need to go ahead and post those text messages like they post a damn Amber Alert.
I guess we need to put the. I guess I'm gonna have to goddamn hold on, Tony Yayo. You might have to come off of here now. You might have to come off here. I might need to put the text messages right here.
Have you seen these?
Have you seen these? I think I'm gonna have to put the text message. What about text message? What about text message? Shit, Jonjolin saw them text messages. She wouldn't let their ass go without acknowledging them messages either.
So y'all trying to make me out to be a bad mother. Look at this bitch. Shit, look at her.
Out there, like Bishop Don Juan. See, I tell y'all gotta instill fear in them.
It do happen. It's part of the game. You know what I mean? Because you got to establish a certain thing. You got to establish some fear in that female in order to get that respect. You must establish that. And she's going to try you to see if you qualified to get that respect from her. So it's going to bring some fear. And what I'm saying is, violent, you know what I mean, and it's something that don't have to. It do happen. It's part of the game. You know what I mean, because you got to establish.
They ain't fucking with Alice Don Juwan, man. They ain't seen a mama like this, goddamn me, since the goddamn 60s, 70s. Pimp hand strong.
Say shit. If I was you, I'd go ahead and bite my finger and smile and make a silly face.
Yeah,
You know, mess
wiggle.
with him real good.
Yeah, shimmy, wiggle, entice him, sit on his lap.
Yeah, mess with him real good. Shit. Ridiculous.
What up, T Glenn? I mean, you gotta be a half ass of a mama, like to even think that shit even okay. But the thing is, these are the type of people that the government is protecting. So what the message is now, I guess the government protect the guilty and then don't protect the innocent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the government was supposed to protect the innocent until they were proven guilty.
Right. But it's extenuating circumstances. It was a scathing docuseries that blew everybody's mind.
Yeah. Then if you made it to chapter 7 of this book, what's so important about chapter 7, Johnny? That's when I was smoking dope. So R. Kelly go from not having a father figure growing up to the first father figure you get is a goddamn dope fiend.
Yeah.
Motherfucker can't put money in the hat quick enough for him picking it up out of there. I just thank God for allowing chaos to overcome and make it through this storm that he has been in throughout his lifetime of living. Because when you go back and when you listen to some of the things, you hear some of the stories, you hear him talking about losing his childhood girlfriend at 8. Well, she was just a childhood friend. Well, you don't even know about girlfriend, boyfriend, and you just play. But she was a real close childhood friend. At 8 years old, you watch her drown and you couldn't help her. Just imagine how that feel.
Mm-hmm.
That shit that stays with you, the trauma that he endured physically, not only mentally, I mean, just all around. Then you run into a goddamn dope fiend when you get about 15, 16.
Yeah, I'll be your manager.
He sound like a good car salesman because he's full of game. What crackheads you know don't got game?
Mm-hmm.
Them motherfuckers that really make you believe you can put the moon in your pocket.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I still say right now, Demetrius Smith was the worst thing ever happened. He was a blessing, but he was the worst thing that ever happened. R. Kelly wouldn't have been patient enough. He was gonna get discovered regardless because he was working at it. Anytime you trying to outsing a train, goddamn it, you gonna get recognized. But the heart that he had for people
Wait a
like
minute.
Smith, Barry
Wait.
Hankerson, Darren McDavid.
Wait a minute now. You say crackheads got so much game, they make you believe that you can put the moon in your pocket.
Yeah. You ain't heard nobody trying to sell you some shit.
Ain't never tell nothing but the truth. I'm telling you, boy. I can tell you some stories, boy.
Man, you ain't never heard a story until you heard a dope fiend trying to get a hit, boy.
Hey, been around them all my life, man.
And I ain't got no problem with them.
Not at all. So,
I'm in my family and everything.
Number love and respect for them. You know what I mean?
But don't push your shit off on me.
That's
They're
right.
trying to sell you some shit, bro. They will sell. When they say sell a dream, that shit came from a dope fiend.
Nephew, I've sat there and watched it. I've listened to conversation and I be at awe. I just be at awe, man. Like I'm watching a motion picture movie.
Man, look, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But we embrace our people no matter their conditions. But at the same time, we understand when our family, even with our family members, we know our family members fucked up, but guess what? We don't allow them to push that off or push their lifestyle off on other family members that want to do better. So you're not going to see your little cousin out there with Pookie and you going to ride past him like you won't see him. Hold on, cuz, what the fuck you doing with Pookie? You know what Pookie do?
Right.
He might not know what Pookie do, but you know what Pookie do. Hell no, don't be hanging around this dude, man. Kells didn't have that. Because if he would have had somebody with, man, get your ass from around Johnny, man. This boy smoked more dope than a train burn coal. No, we can't have that. But one thing he did have that spiritual presence always with him because, man, this man had been shot. I mean, lied on. What they song say, I've been lied on, I've been cheated, talked about, mistreated. All you know that y'all done heard that church song. Everything you think of, this man has been through it. There ain't too much he ain't seen but heaven, man.
Right.
It's a serious thing, bro. And I just thank God, man, that the man is still has his sanity intact and still able to, be in his right state of mind, man. And when he come home, bro, this is gonna be one of the greatest stories ever told in the history of humans, man. Because he talked about it, but I don't think he ever was in a. I feel like he talked about it in the past, but he gonna have every reason to be beating on his chest now. You get vindicated from some shit like this, bro. You gotta be loud. You gotta be heard. People ain't gonna like it. People ain't agree with it, but this story has to come out. This story has to be louder than those fucking allegations. And who better to put it out there than R. Kelly himself? People waiting right now. They waiting around listening. We tired of goddamn all this bullshit. Who listens to the radio anymore? Nobody. So, man, with that being said, I feel like we done had a great live. I started about 10 minutes late, but my brother J-Rock came in. Like I say, man, I tipped my hat out to J-Rock, and J-Rock been saying it about this goddamn karma train that don't run out of steam and don't run out of lies. That it uncovers. You know what I'm saying? That we are on a lie adventure, and it's going to continue to expose. It's going to continue to show. People are going to continue to fall out if they don't get that girl that $340,000, man. The government finna have hell on their hands. They say hell has no fear. What did you say? No fear like a woman scorned. Shit. Y'all done promised this dope fiend $340,000. Shit. What that girl said on Set It Off? I need that money.
Yeah.
She done called in. Well, girl told her, you ain't getting shit. No, man. It ain't going down like that, man. So I just want to say shout out to everybody in the chat that came through. I most definitely want to say shout out to everybody in the chat that came through tonight. Blessed us, kept the chat busy. Shout out to shout out to Derek. It was always a classic when Derek able to get up here. J-Rock, man, I appreciate you guys, man. 1,000%. I look forward to coming on this platform and having a conversation with y'all. Monday.
Man, I'm sorry, nephew. I was in and out, man. A lot of stuff going on work. And I'm gonna talk to you after work, man. They, managed to try to abuse their power. I was gonna do some overtime, man. Do a double shift tonight and tomorrow, man. It's gonna help me take care of stuff. But they tried to abuse their power to get me do something that was off the assignment. You know what I mean? And try to abuse their authority. So I called the clerk and told him I declined that. So just take me off it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I ain't coming here to work hard. Shit, I come here to work smart, not hard.
find me something else outside the job to do, man. So they're gonna pull that. And I was telling some of my coworkers previous years ago, this same type of scenario they used to do, and they're still on. They only got worse. And I'm saying I done been on this rodeo with them before. I said, I'm not gonna get caught up in that. So I just said until I leave the company, I'm just not gonna do no more overtime. Period.
Right.
I just have to find something else because I know the bull crap that they put you in, they get you caught up in. And then the union look at you like, well, you know what you want us to do. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even finna, allow that to even get myself in that trick brand. So
No, stand on principles and that. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. My grandma used to tell me. My grandma's told me, let your yeses be yes.
Yep.
Let your no's be no.
That's it.
And that's something else. Some my son, mom, dad said as well. And that's something. When I heard that, I said, you know what? That's life. You gotta let your yeses be yes and let your no's be no.
Yeah.
I volunteer. You not finna work the shit out of me.
Right. Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Shit. What they say, you teach a man to do a job standing up, he'll find a way to do it sitting down. You catch him doing a job sitting down, the next time you see him, he gonna be doing that motherfucker laying down. This motherfucker sleep on the job.
Too funny. Too funny, but true. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Real talk. Real talk.
This motherfucker sleeping on the job. Yeah, man. So I appreciate everybody, man. I thank y'all, man. We're gonna keep our integrity. We're gonna keep it honest. We're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna stay on target. We're gonna continue to put the message out there, push the message, keep it going. And like I said, man, it shouldn't be a battle, but unfortunately it is, man. To talk about these type of topics and things that we talk about, and until people understand, the more of us that come together and talk about these type of messages is the only way we're gonna make headway.
Yeah, we got to keep pushing, keep action.
It has to be a collective group making a push, and we don't have to have the same headlines, but we need to be making a statement every time we start these lives.
Right.
Each and every live should have a statement behind it. Each and every live should mean something, and that's what I'm going to continue to push for. That's what I want to see. That's what I respect the people in the chat and admire the people in the chat that come in and engage and help me. Let's see how many likes we got, man. We got 119 in here. Let's see if we got this video up to 100 likes before we get out of here.
And I appreciate you allowing me to come on and grace your platform, nephew. More than you ever know. So anytime I come on, I'm gonna give them that game, man. And bless the chat, man. Help people, to find that missing piece to their puzzle in life. So that's my
definitely. Thursday, we starting the men's segment on Thursday.
Yeah, I heard it on the last live. I was replaying it and stuff.
Yeah, we doing the single
too, nephew. I was so out of it when I finally woke up.
Yeah. Man, look, I understand. I understand. Totally, I understand. We starting the single father segment on Thursday, and I want the ladies, the mothers in the chat. Thursday segment is for a single father to go. We're gonna start it off with any advice mothers can give to single fathers out here raising children. So that should be a great conversation, a great engaging conversation. And we're going to take it from there, and we're going to expound and build up on it, because as a single father myself, my brother Sir Miguel, my brother Lex, at some point in time, he was raising one of his children. I seen another guy on the YouTube, Shannon. I think his name is Shannon. It was Shannon. I can't remember the last name, but he said Shannon Lewis. He said he's a single father as well. So I want to create something for the single fathers to be able to come on and speak and talk about the challenges and adversity that we deal with. And man, this shit is so crazy how different society is with a single father versus a single mother. You know, it's a struggle. You know, we as men, we just don't get looked at the same. We supposed to do what we supposed to do. So, hey, okay, Blessed say, I'm also a single father. Okay, so Blessed, man, be here Thursday. Email me, man. Email me at bigviopinion88@gmail.com because I want to have a panel. I want to be able to get guys on the panel so we can have the conversation. Oh, you know, you up here. Derek, you up here, you know, and J Rock, you up here. But I want to get people on the panel, man. We're going to start having this conversation. We're going to talk about fatherhood and just men and fatherhood, period, in general, you know. And so we're going to start that way. And then eventually we're going to work the women in. So I'm going to have a women's segment on Tuesday. The men will be on Thursday. So we'll have back 5 days a week full effect. And we're gonna be tearing this motherfucker up. Every time we hit live, people gonna be rushing over here, stumbling all over people trying to get in here.
Right. And even though I don't have any children, I think I can bring what God has done amazing job with me in healing. That I had a father who was in the home, who was there, who was in the home, nephew, who was there but wasn't present.
Right.
You know what I mean? He did take care of a lot of stuff, but there's some things that, you know what I mean, he didn't, you know, as far as showing you where you're sinking, you know what I mean? And so some of the intimate things I won't share on air, but I would talk to you off the air to give us some context and some backdrop, and then you can help me navigate when that point of the conversation go. I can share some of the things that help some, and even the ladies understand the effect that it has on children when your father dropped the ball. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he speaks some things over you and in you that really change the direction of your life. You know what I mean? In a negative way, and how you can come full circle, and what that looks like on the other side of that, of healing. And that's why I'm so into and I yield back to you. That's why I'm so into us trying to strive every day that we see breath, nephew, to be the best version that God designed for us to be. But it's your choice as a human being. No one can come knock on your door and give you the book for that. You can't walk outside and see something fall out the sky. Nobody's going to email that information. You must have the courage to walk this journey and navigate through and grab the resources that are available, and realize at the end of the day, everything for you to be successful, to be the best version of you, God put it inside your DNA. You know what I mean? And regardless of what was spoken over you negatively and how that might impact you and damage you, there's still a king and a queen inside of you. You know what I mean? And I can share that aspect of it, you know what I mean, in a phenomenal way. And that's why I can speak where I've done, because God has gotten me through so many things that, man, as many people that can be fed is how many times I done been broken, you know what I mean, and healed and recover. So I discovered, shoot, that stuff ain't just for you. You can't hold on to all that goodness, nephew. You'll explode.
Nah.
You got to get out of the way. You got to share that goodness. You know what I mean?
And that's why I talk, man. That's why I speak, man. You like, for me to come on here and start doing this, you know, it was an idea pitched to me at first, and I started doing it. I never saw myself contributing as a contributor to society in a vocal aspect, you know, because sometimes, you know, you feel like people don't understand you. You know,
right.
most people that understand life feel as though they are misunderstood. And
right, correct.
That's a real thing. because the way the lens that you operate from, when you see the behaviors of others, you understand that y'all are not on the same. Y'all are not on the same playing field. But that doesn't mean that you can't help that person that may not be behaving in a way that you are behaving. Sometimes people just don't know.
Right. There you go. You hit it right on here. I told my aunt, my late father's oldest sibling, one time, and she looked at me in amazement and like, wow, because she knew the growth and the maturity and what God had been doing and done. And I said, all of those that period of time when I went to this particular period, this particular thing, I said, Auntie, it wasn't about this or that. I said, what God was showing me, now that I'm on the other side of it, God was showing me forgiveness. That's heavy, nephew. I just said a lot, and some people probably missed it. And we'll unfold that as the weeks go on with that particular topic on Thursday. People gonna be blessed by that. You got to get to a point where you're able to embrace that. And I've discovered, nephew, that that's not an easy thing to do. It takes actual faith to forgive. And I'm gonna let that breathe. Now, that's a whole lot just right there, what I just said. And a lot of people miss that. But we gonna talk about it. People gonna be set free and blessed. And that's the other side of it, nephew, what God has done. And so now look what the finished product is, nephew. And you still learning. As long as you breathing on earth, you still growing and learning.
You still learning. That's why I say I thank God for blessing me with the ability to understand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You better say that.
And the ability to interpretate.
Yes, sir.
Interpret, because a lot of people don't understand how important it is to be able to interpret things around you, the things that people say to you, the things that people do to you, because based off of your interpretation is that forms your reaction.
Right.
So if you allow people to be able to control your reaction, then that means you are not interpreting things around you in a proper fashion.
That's why Miguel always talking about having that emotional intelligence. It's so critical, man. But like we always say, nephew, you got to be able to do the self-work. You got to. You got to.
And I thank God, though. I honestly, man, it ain't a day that go by I don't thank God that I was put in the position I was put in.
Yeah.
Having my grandma raise me, having my granddaddy raise me,
yeah,
hanging around my OG uncles, because they always tell me they were always like, out of me and my brothers, they would always be like, he the one gonna pick up on it, because when they were sitting down having a conversation, I was never the nephew that interjected myself in the conversation. I was the sponge. I just sat back and I listened.
Soaking all that knowledge up. Yes, sir.
My brothers, they always wanted to play. They always wanted to high side. I was the one that always just sat back and I just listened. And that's when I realized I don't have to go through things in life. I can learn from others. People feel like you got to go through something in order to learn from it. No, you don't.
Right.
If you are smart, a wise man will understand everything that he can learn from what he sees. Right. If I go watch you go stick your hand in the goddamn fire and you get burned, I'd be a damn fool to go behind you and think I won't get burned.
Right.
But you got some people out here will try to test the water.
Yeah. They like living on the edge. I see people going over the cliff, but what's over the cliff though? You know what I mean? Why they not coming? I keep going toward the cliff like, whoa, they're not coming back. They went on the cliff and they didn't come back. So evidently some dangers about that. Don't go. But that curiosity, man,
see, that goes back to the one thing about history that we used to look at. I tell people, y'all don't understand. I'm gonna make this statement in my closing. Y'all want to know how far the world has came? I remember a time when we could watch the news and hear certain stories, and we can dictate from them what we heard who committed the crime.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You could say, man, that was white folks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who did that. Now, when you hear about shit going on in the world, you have to sit back and wait to see.
Yeah. Real talk. Real talk.
You can't just say another white motherfucker that went in there and did that. No. Now you have to sit back and see. Damn, I wonder who did that.
Right.
I remember a time in the world. What's up, Toy? I remember a time in the world when you watched the news and you heard about certain crimes going on over the world, and you could say, "Man, ain't nobody did no shit like that but some white folk." We don't live in that. We don't live in that space no more. Now we have to really wait and see who did this shit.
Right.
And I can tell you one of the first stories that actually came out that actually clouded that perception. And that was the DC sniper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody thought there was white people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't that young boy get
was that the situation where them two was laying in the trunk?
No, the stepson or whatever, the son, whatever he was. But I think that the young boy ended up getting a partner or something, or he got some time reduced or something. They did because of his age at the time, and they were saying
he was a minor.
Yeah, he was a minor. They were saying that the other person was controlling him.
Yeah, so he was like, how did they say it? Like in regards to influence, or he was like. He was like, I guess they were trying to say that the adult had manipulated the minor's mind, and because he was a juvenile, he was kind of under the influence of the adult,
almost like the Stockholm syndrome shit.
Right. I'm gonna slide on out, y'all. I gotta go punch out. I'll holler at y'all later.
We'll be back Wednesday.
Okay. All right. Blessings to everybody in the chat. Stay safe. Stay blessed.
I need you too.
Yeah, man. That's one of the biggest things in the world. That like when you used to could hear about certain things and you would just automatically assume like, damn, motherfucker did. Now you gotta wait and see who who did it. You know, and that was a good reference point. That DC sniper, bro.
Yeah, because everybody and mama talking about, man, and that's, it's some crazy white dude, man, because everybody was looking for a van. Everybody was looking like, because everybody believed that was a van. But it wasn't no damn van. It was damn Chevy Caprice.
The price of Caprice went through the roof after that. It started with a box Chevy. Yep. So, yeah, man. So we gonna close it out. I started a little late today, so we got it in, and there's a quick little recap. I asked people, have anybody seen this person? Have anybody seen this guy? That's it, man. Kale's out here finding missing people still.
Are we gonna have an Amber Alert for him next time?
Yeah. And we're gonna run through these videos one more time, and we're gonna get up out of here.
He may.
He got about 80 years.
I mean, what
happened to his money?
No, what he did was super fucked up. He deserved it, but 80 years being a dance on the table, R. Kelly. You don't understand. It's not gonna be. He deserved the time. Yes, of course.
But I believe they didn't take all his money. He could pay his way through.
No, but I'm saying he gonna have a rough bid, bro. He got to be PC his whole bid, or R. Kelly, my daughter on the phone, nigga. Dance, nigga. I believe I can fly. He gonna be on the table on the mess hall.
Yes.
I believe I can touch the sky.
I wanted to ask you something. Can you sing a song for me?
Which one?
Love Letter? Did you get my call?
Did you get my call? Love letter. When you read my love letter.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
He cried over here.
Jail is fucked up, bro.
That's how we start today at 5. 57-year-old Peter Calhoun works at Lakewood High School and was arrested on Friday. News 19's Sam Perez joins us now from Sumter with the latest.
A Lakewood High School coach is charged with sexual battery after the Sumter Police Department says it discovered an inappropriate relationship with a student.
Made me sick in my stomach.
One Sumter resident's reaction after she found out Peter Calhoun, a Lakewood high school coach, is charged with sexual battery. She didn't want to be on camera, but talked about her concern after her two younger brothers recently graduated from the district.
We already have to worry about kids being able to be fed proper meals in school, or school shootings, or bullying and this and that, and now we have to find ways to pick out child predators out of school.
The Sumter School District says Calhoun started working at Lakewood at the beginning of the school year. He's now on administrative leave. This comes after two other Sumter coaches were arrested earlier this year on charges of inappropriate relations with students.
It really does something to kids mentally. Not even at the time, but years later. And here I am, about to be 37 next week. And I was taken advantage of when I was 6, and then later on in my adult life also. And it sticks with you mentally. It does something, and I do not wish that upon any kid.
The police department started its investigation earlier this month after responding to an indecent exposure call, which they say involved Calhoun and a student. According to the department, information gathered indicates there have been multiple encounters between the two, but none happened on school property. It's unclear at this point if there are any other victims. That investigation is ongoing. Reporting in Sumter, Sam Perez, News 19 WLTX.
Well, according to law enforcement, Calhoun was denied bond and is currently being held at the Sumter County Jail.
So I wonder if these other, let's say it was 2 other coaches arrested already. He made the third one, so sound like a RICO to me.
Could be.
Sound like a RICO to me. Then say that he had inappropriate relations with this child outside the school on multiple occasions. So they got proof.
Yep.
In the words of
and I heard a similar story like that around the DFW area. Like a principal or superintendent or somebody got arrested for a child sex sting.
Yeah, he was getting. I was just watching it on the news. They was carrying his ass with a blue shirt on, coming out there. So he sent pictures of his Peter Wacker. I'm like, shit, how he find it? That son bitch bigger than Jim Derrick.
Man, don't let me find out that dude related to Jim Derrick. And the way everything is unfolding, he just might be. It's a damn shame.
R. Kelly accusers, everybody that came out against R. Kelly, I got one thing to tell y'all, and it's this. That's enough, baby Hal. You lucky R. Kelly wrote this, because you wouldn't be getting no play, baby Hal.
Baby hairs, kangaroo face. yeah, whatever, all that.
Yeah. So, man, J Rock, man, shout out to you, my brother. We'll be back Wednesday. Shit. By the time Wednesday comes, something else has been popped off. This shit coming out like fresh fish out the grease. Goddamn, every other day is something new.
Yep. Then you're gonna have Wednesday, and then we game 3 of the finals gonna be Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
So get a chance to see how this shit gonna go down with that, because now I'm just sitting back just looking. Every time I hear something that they come out, somebody always got something to say. I had to really start thinking like, okay, who else gonna say something? Because I want to know who put Tony Yayo up to this.
I don't know. But he's trying. I guess he's trying to be relevant again.
Well, that too.
So I don't know, man. I'm gonna call it a night. I got an early start in the morning. I appreciate everybody for coming over. We're gonna get out of here with some of this old jazz.
Yeah, Big Boy. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Much love to y'all, and definitely gonna be.
Oh yeah, we'll be up. It's going up on Wednesday. All right.
Drink it up.